You don't get freedom and femininity for free. You've got to surrender to the biology, honor it and to each other, and then we create a stable society worth living in. Okay, something that 50 Stars 250th anniversary could be glad for the accomplishments and suffering that we went through. A new kind of commitment where, unlike feminism suggests, people cannot do whatever they want because we're intrinsically tied to each other, like slaves. Men and their masculine testosterone, their focus, their building, their protecting, and women with their feminine estrogen, nurturing, social, playfulness. Yes, there are exceptions, but most people are heteronormative and they would actually like to play these roles. And different religions have celebrated this, but it's time to really look at it through a modern lens of how can we do whatever we want like feminism encourages? No. And are we really a free and rich society if women can't enjoy being in their feminine? You see, men fall in love with vasopressin, which is about doing things for women and giving men a sense of purpose. And then women fall in love with oxytocin. During intimacy, they get close. The point is as a man, it's simping to be doing stuff for women who are not committed to you because you'll get attached. And women, you'll get attached by being intimate, by giving up your body. That's hoeing. So let's transcend that and enter into a higher level of commitment. And yes, it's a structure, it's a limitation, but it's one that is sustainable, which replicates itself through happy families and them creating happy families. There's some key people that I want you to know about. Miss Rachel Wilson, Miss Deborah So, a doctor, and Dr. Danny Silikowski, Savannah Stone, Helen Andrews, Candace Owens, and the No Fugazi podcast. Most of these are women who are really inspiring what I'm about to say. Because if you look at the feminist movement, people like Elizabeth Staton, Margaret Sanger, Gloria Steinem, people think that they did good. And yes, some of them actually fought for specific measures for women to be treated with respect. But the thing is these people were funded by some of the wealthiest families back then, and the goal was state manipulation. It was about structuring society to serve ideological and economic agendas at the expense of a normal family of women being able to be feminine. And if you look back there, the suffragettes, these people did not want to have to work. These women did not vote for this. It was all pushed because of all the funding and how women are more easy to persuade. They're more suggestible. So here's the point. Feminism is anti-femininity, it's anti-purity, and it's also anti-fatherhood because it puts fathers in embarrassing situations of having to work harder and harder to protect their daughters. And it makes it so men end up not respecting each other, because if women are giving themselves away and not respecting their fathers or their future husband, then it creates a lack of purpose in society where men don't even have to work hard to get the woman's body. Like, the women are supposed to be strong and supposed to create a chase where you've got to earn the woman. So what's the freedom deal? It's whether you're fighting physically to protect the borders, or ideologically, you don't deserve freedom unless you are willing to fight for it. And so all these people, wanting big government to take care of all problems, that creates an expensive bureaucracy, and like the whole expensive insurance world and all the big pharma and all of that stuff. Any concentrations of power are not useful. That's why it's actually important to keep separate borders, separate currencies, and not shop at two big stores all the time. Shop local, because then everyone's not controlling all the food and everything. And women get tempted by this sense of security, by that the government's going to be their husband. But no, women as well, we have to be conscious of this. The issue is, what is freedom and what do you do with it? And we have great new technology, guys. Let's feel good about that. But the ideology we're using, from whether it's certain religious concepts or the sort of culture, it's outdated. So let's be conscious of all this stuff and learn from the past and from previous religions, and bring ourselves to an orientation of, number one, I'm going to go through how to stop simping as a man, because that is what creates this suffering, this lack of feeling free, because you can't feel free if you're tied to the wrong directions. If you're not excited about building for a wife, when you get excited about getting married and living for your spouse, you act more responsibly because you're owning it, and it's like, that's your life, and you're going to live it with someone special, and you're going to create children. So 10 ways to stop simping, and then I'm going to explain 10 ways to stop hoeing. So this is very comprehensive, but once we're done, you're going to be sharp. All right, so number one, for example, I'm a vegan. If I was simping, I would be trying to give myself to a woman who's not vegan only because I'm physically attracted to her. And that would be giving up on my values, on my life trajectory. Number two, so a man who's giving his soul energy, his commitment, and his money to the woman without her giving her body, right, in a life commitment, a non-legal marriage, then he's also simping. Number three, unless they both agree that the man's going to be the masculine leader and the woman will be the feminine supporter wife whenever it's possible. Keyword, whenever they can afford to. And if they're not interested in that, then what ends up happening is the woman leads by default, because the woman has all these stronger emotions that, unless it's planned beforehand, that hey, the man's gonna help use his logic to help from week to week and month to month keep the family going in a good direction. So people who use OnlyFans and like sugar daddies are examples of simps. But even promiscuous men, guys, they're all sharing other women with other, quote unquote, alpha men. Are they really alpha? If they were alpha, they would be respectful towards other men's wives and want to figure out a way to find one wife that's pure and not been with another man, and have 10 kids with that wife. If he's an alpha guy, he should be able to find an attractive alpha lady who's got real virility and able to have lots of kids. But I explain a lot of that more in my other video, Dating is Simping. That one's very explanatory. But here we go, here's more. 6. Another one is to consider not labeling women your higher authority. because these roles and titles and names, such as mother and aunt and grandmother, are they good? Like, as an adult man, you should want to be free and not a son husband, not locked into some hierarchy in your personal life. Okay, you should be fully focused on your wife, and that be, and when it feels awkward to be, saying that, labeling someone as your mother, and at the same time you're like wanting to celebrate your wife and wanting to celebrate woman's flower. Like, it kind of creates an awkwardness. And I think it's a higher expression of love, that if you actually do have the same values as the woman in your family, then label them as spiritual sisters. And number 7, I find that when men who are submissive and they try to get into this hierarchy of labeling someone their mother, what happens is they can be some of the most womanizing and predatory towards the woman that they find attractive, because it's this whole dominant submissive game. And number 8, if men didn't label anyone their authority, neither mother, father, uncle, aunt, because what that does is it makes you expect something financially or emotionally from them, and it makes it so you don't feel like your life is your own. But when a man owns something, he takes better care of it, instead of if he's renting it or whatnot. So that is the spirit, that spirit of ownership, of whether it's applied to family, as in the man and his wife, or whether it's applied to being a member of a nation and actually respecting the dollars, like not trying to like get rich quick or like be some type of weird capitalist game of like where there's winners and losers, but really trying to encourage everyone in society to be smart and strong and learn how to save money. The point is, though, is to be in business. Yes, there's a chain of command. There's people that are in a hierarchy, but in your personal life, don't be submissive to anyone. That's simping. Okay, and number 10, when you're preparing to be a husband, you're going to think differently. You're going to be more particularly oriented towards a specific kind of woman who's going to be a wife. And when you get excited about, I'm going to be a husband, you start saving time and money, all your spare time, you want to give it to your future wife. And when you're ready for that wife, it's not about getting her, it's about vetting her. Number 11, in schools where there's socialization around lots of women, men can get emasculated because they're around women who do dominate culture. And so it's easy to get feminized or metro. And the trick is to realize that even if the society is an abundant society, freedom has to be protected, otherwise it's going to be lost. So you've got to work on the basics, on the infrastructure, on providing and protecting, different ways of self-defense, all of that stuff. Okay, number 13. When you get a sense of peace and freedom, it's going to be because you're celebrating your wife, and instead of getting too excited about things like the newest gadgets and spending money showing off to people who are not your wife, and then stuff like pets and luxuries, like at the end of the day, guys, it may sound like you're like tied or not free because you're making it about your wife, but that's the simplest low-cost way to enjoy life. Not only physical intimacy, but giving her massages and being present with her. And there's this strange simping that occurs even with alpha characters, where they are not interested in having a pure woman. And I think that's because they don't want to marry them. But even when these promiscuous guys want to settle down, they do want a pure woman. So you got to realize that you become a different person when you think like that. And people might say I'm insecure when I say stuff like that. And in a way, you could say that because I don't want to be compared to other men. I don't want my future wife to be thinking of other men's physicality, of their money, of their lifestyle. I want her to be focused and into what I have to offer. And so, guess what? We're at 10 ways to be conscious of women's hoeing and how to stop it. So, same as for the guys, you want to be aware that if you're living your life not for your future husband, then you're going to be dishonoring your feminine, because you need that masculine energy in order to enjoy being feminine. You need to be provided for. And you're devaluing your body if you're giving it to anyone who's not. And by the way, a lot of women will say that this is point number one. Women will say that, oh, it's fine to be promiscuous or be overweight or get abortions, because then but what that is it's really women secretly competing with each other and trying to secretly defeat each other. So the women's list will be simpler. It's don't post attractive pictures of yourself or be involved in adult entertainment until you're married, because then it makes it more of a wholesome art thing rather than you trying to get men's energy and like hope that one of them will like you. And number three, if you cut your hair short and try not to dress the most flashiest until you're married, then it will make it easier for you to focus on and not be distracted by men and not get the wrong men's attention. And number 4, when you guard your purity, and it's like realize that you shouldn't do whatever you want only because it feels good, because all that does is it ends up you as a woman being attached to the wrong guys, and it's the thief of joy when you're comparing all these people. And the thing is women are a little different than men. They actually attach to men during intimacy, so that's like the ultimate reason not to want to be intimate as a woman, because then guess what, you're gonna bond with a guy who doesn't even want to marry you, or a guy that you don't really like. So number 5, you want to be aware that you might be tempted to trade your body for different gifts and lifestyle and maybe shopaholism, but these are all addictions. Okay. Number 6, never accept anything free from men. Don't go in their houses or their cars, or if they invite you to sit down or go to an event, or don't sit down around them. Don't do laundry or leave your possessions. Anything, any of that stuff. Don't let them buy you a cell phone, anything like that. It's all stuff that you'll be manipulated with. And number 7, recognize, dark psychology, right? Men who want to seduce you, they are not marriage oriented. It's an inversion, because people think that it's actually men respecting you if they're not trying to force you to be married or be their wife, but it's actually the opposite. It's that they would care enough about you to want to sacrifice their life and surrender to you, and you surrender to them in return. The point is, most men need to work on being conscious of this. So assume that men are only trying to seduce you and don't care about you. Number 8, watch out for all these terms like fiance, girlfriend, significant other, partner. They're not as strong as the term wife. And remember, it's courageous for a woman to honor her femininity and want a man who will protect that. Number 12, watch out for talking with men. Of course, in business, it's necessary, but you can do a bow with both of your hands together in a bow motion, or you can wave courteously to men if they say something friendly to you. You don't have to be verbal or talk to men. Walk away or run if you need to. All right, so there you go. And there's lots more to come, lots on my video about manipulation, about being conscious of the right person and the process, because it's going to take a lot of research. You should be hiring specialists. You should be thinking about that polarity of what keeps people together. Is it only the physical attraction that usually only lasts around 2 years statistically? Look it up. But what stays strong, what keeps people together, is having the same values and vetting each other platonically. You can do so by involving matchmakers, friends, family, phone conversations, email, but no dating, no physical, no romantic, no verbal flirtations, all honest, respectful conversations with somebody who you respect. Because if you respect them, you're not going to try to seduce them. And so that is the new freedom. It's where we're reconnecting with ourselves, and we're using that masculine and feminine polarity to keep the magnetism strong in a marriage and the values. And instead of only relying on superficial things like, oh, he's attractive, or he and she gives me pleasure and they're friendly, all that is not enough, because you'll find attractions with lots of people. And then people say, well, how do you find intimate compatibility? Well, you can talk candidly about it on email, on video chat, and you, even if, is it really a virtuous thing to try to find the person that can absolutely please you the most, like getting the strongest drug for an addiction? It is an addiction, that would be. But if you want true love, and if you want to feel that sense of truth and freedom that I think America is designed to be, then you're going to have to join me on this adventure. We got this, guys. Cancel dating. Shieldheart.org. Protect your heart. And we're going to be free as long as we honor femininity. Otherwise, if you don't honor Lady Liberty, the whole thing might as well be gone. Might as well forget it. Humanity, forget it. If you're not going to honor the biology of the sacred feminine woman, then we can go reincarnate in some other species, guys, because Mother Nature is not going to tolerate that.